All right, Rhett, first day of camp, a couple of days of camp, a lot of young guys. You ended practice there with a phenomenal catch by Xavier Restrepo. What's your thoughts on some of these young guys, what they're showing you early in camp?
Hey, everybody's getting a chance to compete, get a lot of opportunities. We're able to roll three groups throughout practice, and like you saw at the end, be real competitive. And so that's where you want to put guys in situations where they can become comfortable being uncomfortable, see how they respond. There's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad. It's part of practice, but the more opportunities we give guys to show what they can do, I think the better we'll be.
How does Derek look now that he's there looking like nothing ever happened to that knee, not wearing a brace, just a compression splint?
Yeah, he's looked good the first 2 days. He hasn't been limited in anything. We feel good about where he is. I think he's been on record as saying, the rehab process for him won't stop all year. But he's in a good place, and we'll just keep taking it day to day.
Lastly, he said yesterday that he wouldn't wear a knee brace. You support that decision, saying that he wouldn't wear a knee brace given that he's so important to this team?
Yeah, I support his decision. We support the doctors, and Dr. Kaplan and his team. They've done a great job, and I think from day one they felt good about that if he's comfortable with it. And so the doctors and Derek will make that decision, and we'll support it. By the way, do y'all tackle somebody when they go three stake questions? Well played.
You got the race between Garcia
Yeah.
and Tyler Van Dyke. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, it'll go through at least the first 2 weeks of camp, maybe all the way till the first game. I mean, we feel, both those guys had great springs. Obviously, Tyler's been here longer, so there's probably a different comfort level, but Jake is going through spring was good. And so those guys will continue to kind of split reps and as camp progresses, maybe even in different scenarios. So I feel like those guys will keep competing for a while.
How much better do you feel about your wide receivers now than you did, I guess, when you first got here? Between the progress of the young guys from last year and obviously three guys who were pretty good.
Well, I think we've got good competition. I think we have more depth and able bodies. But until we do stuff in a game, I think we're still, a work in progress. And so, there was a lot of good today, but there was a lot of bad. So we got a long way to go to be as consistent as we want to be. But I like the guys. I like their the way they're competing. They're hungry. They're wanting to do it right. But until we go out and do it in games, it's going to be a question.
Sticking with the wide receivers, what do you thought about Keyshawn Smith? Just early parts of the camp, but also the progression from last year, what you've seen so far this year?
Keyshawn can run. He's doing some good things. It really hurt him. He was limited at times in the spring this year. Wish he could have got all of it in. He only got half, and so that may have hurt a little. But he's amongst that group, of probably three deep that are just getting a ton of reps and a ton of opportunities. And so, hopefully he'll continue to get better every day. But he's a guy that we need to step up.
Is there an ideal number of receivers you'd like to roll?
I hesitate to say that because I don't want to get pigeonholed into it. You would like to have more than three. You'd like to be, at least two deep at every position that you feel like you can put them in the game, whether it's to play 20 plays a game, whether it's to play 40 plays a game. So guys can be fresh throughout the game because it's hard, especially if you play over 80 plays a game, which we want to get to at times. So, like I've said, I hope we can be at least two deep, maybe more. But if we've only got two or three guys, then that's what we'll roll with. But that's part of the design of what we're doing, getting as many reps as we are, increasing the competition, because I think guys know that even if I'm not the starter, that doesn't mean I can't play and contribute.
We knew a few more questions fast last year with tempo. Just curious, when you go back and you look, how much more faster you guys played? Was it expected? Did you been faster? How do you sort of do that?
We played fast at times. We can do a lot better in general offensively. We were okay last year at times, and we weren't so good at times. And we've got a lot of work to do to get to where we want to be. We still want to play fast. That's who we are. So I think we can always try to play faster, but that comes with execution. But I'll say this, there's times in football games, whether it's to start drives, third downs, after incompletions, red zone, coming out of timeouts, coming out of injuries, coming out of reviews, where you can't play fast. And so, playing fast is a big part of who we are. We think that's a good advantage for us, but there's, I don't know a percentage, I'm throwing one out of the top of my head, 30% of the time at least, you can't play fast. And so how can you execute and still be productive when you can't do that? And that's where we got to get to.
Last question.
Running back competition, Cam Harris is looking good. What about Don Cheney?
Yeah.
Can you talk about those guys?
All three of those guys have been good the first 2 days, and then we've been able to get the freshmen, Cody Brown, Thad Franklin in there. A lot of the freshmen have kind of ran together for the first few days, and that's been good. it's that way at every position. That's what we want to create here. That's the theme of what we're trying to do is competition. Competition brings out the best in everybody. We've had 2, I think, good days in helmets. Doesn't really mean anything. We put some pads on tomorrow, so I think we'll start to learn tomorrow more. What can those young guys do? Where have certain guys made strides? And and that'll progress through camp.
Thank you very much.